Hey everybody, it is Montenslayer here, and today I got for you guys a Master Duels replay. I've been liking Master Duel format a lot more than like current format, and like also I play locals quite a bit, like once or twice a week, using this specific format, and I wanted to go ahead and showcase off for you guys. This was the finals of a Master Duel locals where me and the other player are dueling to see who gets first place. And for Master Duels, I think it personally has the most consistent version of Phantom Knights because you have like the danger monsters like Jackalope at 2 and then Snake at 3, which we only have one of each in the TCG, and also you have Rango Bongo as well. Here's a quick view of like my personal extra deck. For some reason it doesn't let me show my main deck, just by opening, like how I would be able to do like on Edo Pro. As you guys can see here, I don't really run the Dark Requiem or Art Rebellion package. I think you're kind of wasting up slots for like your more versatile matchups because Arc Rebellion relies on you having PK names to go ahead and go for game. Meanwhile, Downward Zeus is a lot more versatile because sometimes you can just go ahead droplets an opponent's entire board and just take up 2 generic 3s to go for a board wipe and then have an eruption during your own opponent's turn. I've considered maybe cutting Rango Bongo, but the thing is, if you have it, you have it. You need something to counteract like some kind of like Eldlich set 5 strategies where they don't run any hand traps and they just want to floodgate like the shit out of you. But that's my personal take on that matter. As you guys can go ahead and see, I'll go ahead and get the video started. Or the replay started, sorry. You can go ahead and start off with Alistair Effect to go ahead and search out the invocation. I don't drop the max C here because I want him to first commit to the activation of invocation, because if I go ahead and drop the max C after he searches out the invocation, he can go ahead and choose to not go ahead and link off and use the invocation, and so just go ahead, go for Pot of Prosperity, set 2 and pass, and save the invocation since he already has Alistair in hand. So I wanted to at least go ahead and guarantee myself a draw. I also wanted to draw into a PK name because right now I have Boots, but I really need something a little bit stronger than Boots to go ahead and have better synergy and play through a possible hand trap like an Ash Blossom or an Effect Veiler. So I really need something like a Torrent Scales or a Gloves of that sort. So I go ahead and chain Maxi to the invocation. So you can go ahead, Fusion Summon, bring out the Makava. Go ahead, activate Pot of Prosperity, banishing 3. He's going to go ahead and reveal the Conquistador, Golden Lord, as well as the Meltdown. So you can go ahead and add the Conquistador, the invocation graveyard effect, go ahead and add the Alistair back to hand, shuffle the invocation into deck. Just going to go ahead and set the Conquistador, set the Sanguine, go ahead pass turn. I go ahead and top deck into a Tracker. So right now what I'm trying to do is play around a pop, because the fact that he grabbed Conquistador tells me that he already has a way to get to Golden Lord, and that if he really needed to get to Golden Lord, then he would have just grabbed the Golden Lord, just the one he revealed off of Prosperity. So that tells me that this is more than likely a Sanguine set, so I know I'm going to have to play around a non-targeting pop. I have to play around the Makaba negate. Granted, I do have droplets to help with that, and I do have to play into a possible hard-drawn hand trap like an Ash Blossom or a Veiler. I'm going to go ahead and start off with Jackalope Effect, because the nice thing about this version of Phantom Knights is that you actually have cards to draw into, rather than if you're running something like Verte packages like Dragoon or DPE, then you have a risk of like the danger monsters discarding one of your own bricks or you drawing into a brick itself. I'm going to go ahead, top deck into another droplet, right? What are the chances of that happening? But I can still go ahead and make this work. I'm going to go ahead link into the Cherubini. Then on Cherubini's summon, he's going to go ahead and activate Conquistador, activate the Sanguine. I don't set the droplets because I want to make it look like I'm oblivious and I don't know about my own Cherubini protection effect. But this interaction comes up a lot, especially like in modern TCG, like current format with like DPE adventure packages running around. A good time to go ahead and like interrupt the Famnite deck is if by popping the Cherubini, getting it off field. But the quick plays help a lot with that aspect, like E-Tele being at 3 in the TCG, as well as droplets can also help, because if you guys didn't know, cards don't go into the graveyard until the chain link finishes resolving, so your droplets will remain on field and you can use it as protection fodder for your Cherubini if it happens to be vulnerable to being popped. So I'm just going to go ahead and chain the droplets, getting rid of Stained Underwear to go ahead and negate and lower the attack of the Makaba. So now a droplet is on field, so I can use it as protection fodder for the Cherubini. I'm going to go ahead and use Cherubini Protect, send your droplets to the graveyard, go ahead and mill the graph effects, go ahead, start swimming out this here. So at this point, he probably doesn't have Ash, otherwise he would have done so on the graph. And also one good thing about him using up his Sanguine and his Conquistador pup is that now I don't have to play around his Nibiru, because the Sanguine locks him into only being able to special summon out zombie monsters for the rest of the turn. So at this point, I pretty much just need to go ahead and play around a Veiler, and I have a good way of baiting that out. So go ahead, use Rusty Effect, go ahead, dump Ancient Clothes, set the Shade Brigandine, go ahead, go for Shade Brigandine, go ahead, Link Climb into the Nightmare Unicorn. This is going to have to bait out a Veiler at this point because all of his Eldlich cards rely on the Golden Lord being out on field. And so if he wants to go ahead and keep his Golden Lord, keep it sticked like on the field, he would have Veilered at this point and go ahead, try to keep his Golden Lord in rotation in the graveyard. But since he doesn't, I'm going to go ahead and try to go for game here. I go Ancient Cloak, Torn Scales, then Stained Underwear, effect, go ahead, switch summon out the Torn Scales, go ahead, discard the droplet, sending the Wings. I send the Wings because I want to go ahead and trigger it later on once I use the Torn Scales as link fodder for the Access Code Talker. Go ahead, Access Code, go ahead, boost Access Code Talker's attack. At this point now I know that he doesn't have the Veiler because he would have just used it on the resolution of Access Code Talker. I'm going to go ahead, Wings, revive out the boots, and go ahead, trigger Torn Skills, revive itself out. And here I'm going to go ahead and overlay into a Break Sword, and go ahead, trigger Rusty to go ahead and target and pop the Makaba. This is so then that way I can go ahead and play around the Alistair's in-hand effects, and that way his monster doesn't get the attack boost during battle. And yeah, so that's pretty much going to be game right there. If you guys enjoy these types of videos, like me going over Master Duels, I did say that I was originally going to live stream it sooner, but my PC's been having problems with live streaming Master Duels for some weird reason with the OBS. Live streams Dueling Book fine and Edo Pro, but for some reason it's giving me issues with Master Duels. So I'm gonna go ahead and like get a setup with like my gaming console and a capture card, so then that way it doesn't lag and stuff for you guys to enjoy the content and be able to see my lines of play clearly. But yeah, so hopefully I'll have that set up soon. I do have finals coming up for college, but I do still play like in these types of like Master Duel locals like once or twice a week, just for fun, something like take my mind off of like studying, doing homework. But yeah, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the replay. Please leave a like if you did, and yeah, have a good day guys. Peace.